Hello and welcome and happy New Year's. This is Alchemist X and this is the weekly update for December 30th. This being recorded on the last day of 2021. So this week there are two new mementos, one for the unit Yomi and one for the unit Mia. And both of these units can be obtained for free via the challenge board. So you're going to have to do Babel Chronicles in order to unlock these. So if you've never done that before, it's a gameplay mode that is very puzzle-like. The units and their stats are all set for you and you can't customize them at all. Sometimes the solutions can be very, very specific. So I definitely, if it's stressing you out, there's YouTube videos out there for each specific level. And, you know, barring the occasional RNG on a level, it should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, well, I've never thought Yomi was too amazing of a unit. She's alright, and Mia is definitely really good, and given that sometimes we get events like the Tower of Negrito, where there'll be a floor where you can only use 4-star units, there's one level on that tower where Mia does really, really well, so I would say that she is worth your time. So for maps, there is not much. There is the Returns quest has added 2 new maps, Stage 5 and Stage 6. There's also milestones for each of the stages that'll give you 250 of the Thread of Lineages, which is for leveling up the Enlightened Bond thing for any instances where you have all the characters in that group max Enlightened. So that's kind of handy. So they're pretty fun hell levels. I was experimenting with them a bunch because it's always a good opportunity to test like how good a character really is. Like how can they hold up in a hell level? Although now Fumi just kept being a common factor in that experience. So that is about it for just like maps and units and new stuff. There is one more thing I wanted to talk about, which was in the shop, and that is going to be the New Year's coins, because there are a lot of very good things you can get in the shop. Well, limited unit soul shards, but some of them, including Genesis units, that are very, very hard to get, and Bianca, who is especially hard to get, which is now more relevant to me than before because I got her recently. So getting these coins, I think, is definitely worthwhile, and there's 2 ways to do it. One of which is in the banners, which we'll go over during the banner overview in just a moment, and then the other way is in the premium shop. You can get them via a $10 bundle, which you can buy 10 times. Now, do you want to spend $100 and get like 2,000 coins? I mean, maybe if you've got a huge disposable income. I wouldn't recommend that for most people because you'll start to get diminishing returns on the coins unless you have like a ton of 25 sets that you want to get. But if buying that bundle helps you get like a character Gate 2 or Gate 5 or Gate 6 maxed, you know, might be worth buying instead of spending it just on gems. That's usually how I try to frame it, as like, what's more valuable, just getting gems or just getting something in the special bundle? So with that out of the way, let's take a look at the banners. And here we are at the banners. This is the last week to use discount tickets, both the regular and the 20% off holiday ones, so definitely worth remembering. And it is New Year's Eve right now, so until the rest of tonight, there are 2 banners that'll be around, and I'm guessing that there's going to be a couple on New Year's Day. So that's usually how Gumi likes to roll with special occasions. So the first is going to be a 3 summon for Genesis Soul Shards where you're guaranteed 50. So if you're trying to collect shards of Genesis characters like for Enlightenment and you've got most of them, then I think it's alright. If you don't have a lot of Genesis units, it's probably not going to be as worth it. The next is a banner that will guarantee you 1 limited 5-star released in 2021. So that's pretty good. And then on top of it, you can get the New Year's coins as well. So that's a good bonus as well. And then the next 2 are similar in structure, where one has Yomi's and 2 other New Year's mementos, and the other one has Mia's. So for each respective banner, you have a 1/3 chance of getting the new one. I'd say compared to the first 2, they're not as worthwhile pay gem wise, but that just depends on how badly you want the New Year's mementos. Next, we've got a banner I consider very worthwhile because the only way to get the New Year's coins without spending real money is going to be through this banner. So you can choose 6 units among this pool, and you have a 2.5% chance roughly. I don't even know what that means in context. Like, they're always very, very vague about rates, unless it's one of those situations where it's like it could be nothing but raw probability, like that 1/3 I mentioned on the memento banner. It's very, very nebulous, but that doesn't matter because even if your luck is absolutely garbage and you have bad pulls the entire way, you still get 1,000 of the coins, and then you can get yourself Bianca or Nimble or Andex or whatever shards that are very, very hard to get your hands on. So I think that's worthwhile, especially if you can stack the maximum amount of discount tickets on it. Then we've got a just normal pool discounted type summon that is not worth it at all for veteran players. If you're new, doing one of these steps every once in a while could be handy in rounding out a collection, but I would not recommend spending too many gems on it. Then we have a featured, or it's the voucher, voucher summons. There's going to be one of these for mementos and one of these for units. This is the unit one. They structure-wise are the same. You got a guaranteed 5-star on every step, and then if you do all of the steps, you'll end up with 20 vouchers. So these are pretty good structure. Getting a guarantee on every step is always great, and then the vouchers can get some pretty good stuff. Most noteworthy, at least to me, are the memento summon tickets and the sets of runes, especially the flash and the sweep. So if you look in the shop and you can see like 20 vouchers worth of value to you, then doing 7 steps of either this one or the memento one could definitely be worth your while. Then we've got the holiday raffle, which is not really a banner, and also you can only use 1 ticket at a time. That's very, very sad. But next is the 9-step memento for the New Year's Yomi and Mia. And if you want it and you want to use free gems on it, then that is the option. Luckily, there's no other mementos diluting the pool, so hopefully luck works in your favor if this is what you're chasing. Then we've got definitely another interesting banner in that all of the featured banners are going to be New Year's / holiday ones. There's some good ones on there, including Iconas and Ishunas. So if you didn't pull on it last time, that and there's some that you really, really want here, then doing at least maybe 2 steps of this could be worth your while, because a little bit of luck will go a long way in this case. But if you really, really want either Ishunas or Iconas or I guess Eliza's, then doing the other one and just getting the selector is probably going to be better, because while getting 6 of the same memento, it can be really, really nice. It's only nice if it's a memento that matters to you. Then we've got, this is just the memento version of the voucher one that I mentioned before. And everything else is going to be an older banner. But like I said, the holiday one, if you want to guarantee Icona, Ishuna, or Eliza's, you could still do that. And then the really, really good one for global original mementos is still around. So all in all, there are a lot of good ways to use up discount tickets. It just depends on what it is that you're looking for. So that is the end of the banner review. So I'm going to now do 10 steps of that coin banner. Okay, so I have sped up the summoning just because it was like almost 11 minutes long in total, and I just didn't think that it needed to be that long as far as the recording goes. Especially because most of this is going to be pretty uneventful as far as getting good results go, but I won't spoil it entirely. But I just wanted to showcase it because, while it is really fun to like pick which units you can potentially get, the reality is most of the time you will get little to nothing. So I definitely wouldn't put too much stock in it. I definitely liked the versions of it more when it was like choose your own featured pool, but they would never do that with, the units featured here. So that would be pretty silly. But whenever they do it with like, slightly older, like limited stuff, I always think that's pretty cool. But as I said in the banner overview, I'm really just doing this to get the coins, because especially, I keep mentioning this, but Bianca, her shards are just so hard to get that, if I ever want to have any chance of using her, and I'd kind of like to, just because I happen to have gotten lucky and I pulled her memento when I was going for Nimmels. So if I can get enough shards to just get her like decently enlightened, just enough to be usable as a support unit, I definitely would. I think I would enjoy that. And then the other units I picked were just the other Genesis units I really want more shards of. Like, I want all of the Andex shards I could possibly get. Nimmel, I'm kind of set for now, but just looking towards the future, definitely want to get more. And then, of course, Quince too. Quince is great. I'll talk about him more in just a moment, but the other two I left open just in case, because those are the two global units that I didn't have. I don't have their mementos, so it's even if I did get them in that very, very small chance, it would be a little bit harder to raise them. But I just thought it might be fun nonetheless, just especially because I think both Grimm and Li Wang have interesting kits, even if they're not explicitly like must-have units. But yeah, I threw Quince on there as well because I've just been really enjoying him. I saw a lot of potential when I first got him, because I just got him off of a random, I don't remember, it was either a Genesis coin banner or it was one of those just ordinary, all units are on this banner with a 5-star guaranteed every step. It was one of those two, but just very unexpected. And I didn't have his memento, but then I got it. And I've ended up with this, I've gotten a bunch from the Genesis coin shards, and the more I invest in him, the better he's, there he is right there. So that was kind of lucky, in that I definitely could use that, because now getting his Gate 6 is something I could potentially do and would like to do. Just because sometimes that Alchemic Crush can just be monstrous, and as far as I can tell, like, nothing seems to be immune to it. The Returns quest, the number, I want to say it was number 3. Pretty sure it was 3. The one where the demon thing has like 1,000,000 health. He was great in that because he could just take a bunch of extra chunks off of his health every turn, while also lowering stats. And then his damage isn't too bad. He's also lowers res, so he's definitely. I feel like I did not really appreciate how good of a unit he was when he first came out, and I always feel really bad when I do that, because I always try and look at a unit's kit on the database and see what other people think, try out the unit as a mercenary to get a good example, but sometimes it takes a little bit more experience. Alright, we're just about at the end here, so if you summoned, I hope you had a little bit better luck than I did, and I will see you all next time.